Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to your March 2021 reading. I'm so excited you are here. If this is your first time here, thanks so much for joining me. If you are returning, thanks so much for coming back. I absolutely love and appreciate every single comment, all of your likes, any shares. Every time you hit that bell or that subscription button, you know, I appreciate and I feel your energy. So thank you so much for that. All right, so March 2021, well, February 26th, 27th, there is a full moon in Virgo. And I really thought, you know, it's kind of interesting that this month of March is starting as February is finishing on this full moon. So I went to the Moonology Oracle deck and I wanted to look up the teaching from the book in the Moonology deck. And this is what it says. It says the full moon in Virgo is a time to declutter your life, your home and office. It's time to sort what's good in your life from what's not serving you. It's also time to clear out your energies via salt baths, meditations, and to practice getting more grounded by walking barefoot. No matter when you draw this card, it's a reminder that any time is a good time to start living a healthier life. And I just thought, oh, I also want to read this, the Attuned to the Moon. Find a balance between the cosmic and the mundane in your daily life. And I thought that was a beautiful way really to be starting this month of March. So as we get into each reading, I just wanted to, you know, keep in mind that as we are embracing this new month of March, we are ending February with this beautiful full moon in Virgo. Okay, so beautiful Scorpio, let's get into your reading. So Scorpio, sun, moon, rising, maybe Venus, maybe you just have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, but welcome to this March reading. So it's really based off of going forward from this full moon. And as we go into March from this full moon, it was certainly an energy that I thought, you know, this is one that we need to keep working from. This is one that we really need to pay attention to. And as we go into the month of March, even as we go into Pisces season, really, let's pay attention to the energies that are coming from this full moon in Virgo. Full moons are very powerful. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, so it will not resonate with everybody. You know, maybe if you don't find resonation with it, check out another sign. Check out another sign within your natal chart. Okay, let's do this. So this is, first we're going to start with the overall current energy moving forward from this full moon. What is the, thank you, Spirit. Two of Cups. Look at that, Scorpio. Okay, heart of the matter here. What is the heart of the matter here moving forward into the month of March? What is the heart of the matter? Thank you, Spirit. Wow, Eight of Swords. What are Scorpios afraid of here? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Wow, we have the Page of Air, and this one, ooh, and the Seven of Fire. Okay, past influence that is supporting the Scorpios here. What's the past influence? Thank you. The Messenger of Water and the Emperor. Okay, wow. And past energy that is challenging the Scorpios here. What is a past influence, a past energy here that is challenging? Thank you. Thank you. Temptation, which is the devil energy. Okie dokie. And then what is Scorpio promising themselves? Patience. The Temperance, of course, and potential outcome. What is the potential outcome moving forward here? Lots of them are jumping, but not too many nothing's coming out yet. Thank you. Messenger of Earth. That's the Knight of Pentacles. All right, so at the bottom of the deck here, Scorpio, we have the Five of Swords and the King of Wands and the Page of Water behind it. You know, this could really be an energy where you are overcoming, you know, the Five of Swords is about confliction in communication, okay? It is talking, you can see here, she's walking this tightrope, and that's like the tense kind of energy that surrounds maybe communication. Maybe it's how you're communicating with others. Maybe it's how you're communicating to self. Maybe it's even the energy of past conflicting energies, past tense energies. And when the King of Fire was behind that, you know, I feel like almost what this confliction is around your authenticity and maybe how you communicate that authenticity to your life, right? To those around you, but also to the life of Scorpio. All right, let's get into this. So current energy, overall energy that we had here was going forward was the Two of Cups. And what a beautiful energy. That can be talking about soulmate connections. And keep in mind, soulmates do not just have to be romantic soulmates, you know? Ask somebody who has like a solid friend, right? Where they're like, no, like, that's my person, you know, I'm not romantically into them, but that is a person that I, you know, that my soul is connected to. You know, keep in mind that soul connections do not just have to be romantic connections by any means. Let's clarify this. That was a lot. Okay, we have the Nine of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Death and Rebirth, though, that comes out with this Two of Cups. And I really like this energy because I do feel like no matter what kind of connection you are blossoming into, it happened because here you were at the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands energy is like the wounded warrior. It's very exhausted. Okay. It's like you've been through the hard shit in life. You've overcome it. You learned lessons. You worked your way through it. Okay. But it is the energy of exhaustion. You have the Page of Swords behind here. And I feel really like what this energy is discussing, these two together, is very much about how you have come from a challenging past, but you acknowledge all that, you know, was a part of that past. You acknowledge the cycles, you acknowledge the old patterns, you know, toxic behaviors, whether it was yours or somebody else's or both. And here you're going forward, really learning how to be new, really learning how to open your mind. Pages of Swords, pages are new beginnings, swords are about your mind. So this is really being very clear in your thinking. Also making sure that you're only feeding it healthy kind of energy. The Death and Rebirth here was after those two. And I feel like when it comes to relationships, whatever kind of soul connection this may be, this is about how you have been through challenging pasts, but how you are rebirthing yourself and learning to go forward as a new kind of energy, you know, in whatever kind of relationships you are building, whatever kind of soul connections you are building, you are taking the experience from the past, rebirthing yourself and going forward, putting into action all of these new things in which you are currently acquiring and learning and you know, putting into implement here. All right, beautiful current and like overall energy really to be looking at from this full moon. And I love the energy of the full moon in Virgo because it is about clearing out the negative shit. Anything that isn't going to serve us, anything that makes us feel less than, that is what this full moon in Virgo is greatly influencing. So the heart of the matter was the Eight of Swords, which isn't that interesting because you can see here she's clearing out the things that aren't going to serve her. In traditional tarot, the Eight of Swords is a very conflicted, binding, swords again are in the mental space, so it can be very much where you are feeling trapped within your own thinking, where you're feeling very limited. I feel contained is actually even another word that is coming to my mind greatly. You know, it just feels like very limiting. This heart of the matter here to me, especially when this was the overall energy, is where you're freeing yourself from past whatever it is. Okay, apply that where it fits. We all have to apply readings where they fit. And so what do you, when you look at yourself, where do you feel that you have been trapped? What kind of mental, what kind of thinking, more or less, has trapped you, has made you feel small, has made you really feel stuck, unable to express who you were? Because that's this heart of the matter. Okay, especially when what you are afraid of here was that Page of Swords again and the Seven of Wands. It's like what you're afraid of here is to shine your own light. It's really to show up with this authenticity. It's almost like, again, that Page of Swords is how you're learning to it's really how you're getting clear on the new cycles in which you're putting into action. That's that Page of Swords energy. It's like, okay, there's going to be new patterns. You're starting new patterns because pages are beginnings. So they're starting new cycles, new beginnings, right? And that Page of Swords is like, okay, the roadmap, the thinking, the planning out of how those new steps are going to apply into your life. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to pull a clarifier for this Eight of Swords because I do want to see, why do you feel trapped? As this heart of the matter, what is making these Scorpios feel trapped? That's too many, but we'll take this one. 10 of Wands. Okay, what's making you feel trapped is you are still carrying some sort of heavy burden here, you know, and it's beautiful that the Nine of Wands showed up to clarify in this overall energy, and this Ten of Wands showed up here in the heart of the matter, because you have come from this Nine of Wands energy. You have done the growth, you have been through the cycles, but here in this Ten of Wands energy, it's like, okay, so finish it out. Release yourself now from the burdens that you are actually carrying. Release yourself from the baggage and those toxic ties. This is just like finishing out, crossing the T's, dotting the I's to the healing that needs to happen so that you can release yourself from this kind of mental fuckery, okay? What you are afraid of here was that Page of Swords and the Seven of Fire. Let's clarify the Page of Swords first. Can we get one for a clarifier for the Page of Swords? Wow, we got 3. Wow, look at that. The Eight of Swords actually came out again. Okay, so this Page of Swords, though, this where you're really learning and, you know, putting, like, this is just being that open-minded. Here's that Page of Swords again. Isn't it interesting how many... We already have some repeat cards out here. Page of Swords, Page of Swords. Okay, so this Page of Swords, though, she was clarified by the Hanged Man. This is where you are surrendering, releasing the resistance to how you've had to go about things in the past. This is where you're allowing Spirit to direct this next movement. Spirit to take the reins of this and show you, okay, this is the way forward. This is just kind of the pause period. Okay, the pause to just learn the new habits, learn the new patterns, open yourself up to the new information. You have the King of Cups here that came out after this Hanged Man. The King of Cups is talking about that masculine energy within inside of self. That masculine energy is talking about the action steps within your life, okay? That outward action side of self is your masculine energy. So here with this King of Cups, it is talking about connecting those actions of life to your heart, to your emotions, to your spirituality. It's about going very deep below the surface to make sure that what you are emotionally feeling, your actions are and I shouldn't say emotionally like rashly. It's more like what your heart, you know, that soul purpose, because we do have to be very careful. We can't go obviously and just speak off of emotion like that, right? Like we do need to sort out our emotions. So that's not really that was a really bad example. It is more or less where we're just connecting to our soul purpose. The actions of our lives are connecting to our soul purpose. Maybe not necessarily, you know, and cups are about emotions, but it's not a distorted energy. So he's not somebody who is like just going off of, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm sorry, Scorpio. All right. So, and then we have this Eight of Swords right after here. And I feel like there's some part of you, again, that was this heart of the matter. Eight of Swords, Eight of Swords. And see how this one, you can really see how she's trapped. Okay, and in this heart of the matter, yes, okay, maybe you are feeling trapped, but I loved that it was this depiction, because it was like, no, you're not trapped, you're releasing it, right? Especially with that Ten of Wands, you're letting go of the burdens. And see, and that's really where, I think that's really what you're afraid of here, is there has to be this surrender, there has to be this change, there has to be this faith in the divine here so that you can learn these new steps to go forward, because it is about the Seven of Wands, which is totally about embracing that little light within inside of self, showing up, shining your light, shining your authenticity, right? Not being afraid of that authenticity. And maybe that energy of the Eight of Swords has been where other people have made you trapped, where there's been limiting beliefs, other people's bullshit has really led you to believe that you weren't worthy of what was to come for you. You know, you weren't worthy of this light. But look at this. The Sun clarifies the Seven of Wands, because the Sun is about happiness. It's about fulfillment. It's the happiest card in the tarot deck. Okay, and this is really when you embrace your authenticity, when you embrace that light within inside of self, you begin to feel this fulfillment and this abundance in a whole brand new level, because you're opening yourself up to divine purpose. You're opening yourself up to divine blessings. Okay, beautiful energy. It is, and as an energy that you're afraid of, I think it's just where you have felt unable to really express your authenticity. And this is a change in that. This is where you're starting to really, you know, learn and open yourself up to these new beautiful energies of self. So what here though, what was supporting you from the past was this King of Cups and the Emperor. For some of you, this could be a very supportive partner. you know, some sort of masculine partner. Again, that's not gender specific, but it is talking about masculine energy. So it could very much be where there has been some sort of supportive partner within your past, but it is also the energy that Knight of Cups is things moving forward, opportunities moving forward. It could be opportunities for those kind of soul-led ventures. And with this Emperor here, it was very much about being steady in what you wanted. It was very much about, okay, this is the kind of cup that I am looking for, you know, within my life. Because that Emperor is a very steady energy. Two of Wands and the High Priestess. Okay, so we have, you know, to clarify these energies, yeah. You see, I do believe that there was some sort of opportunity, and again, that could be a relationship, or it could have just been some sort of soul passion, something that was very inspired, again, by your emotions, by your soul purpose. And it really called you to be crystal clear on what you wanted. It really called you to have to embrace this energy of the Emperor within your own life. Because remember, if we're not the Emperor of our lives, somebody else will be. You know, there was this Two of Wands and this High Priestess, because there was this change within inside of you. As a past supporting influence, it was as though you looked at the past before you and you were like, I need change. Maybe it was a change where you were living. Maybe it was a change within your jobs. Maybe it was a change within relationships. But it was like you looked at two paths before you and you're like, yeah, no, I got to switch it up here. And with the High Priestess here, I feel like you really connected to that intuition. I feel like your soul was very much guiding you here, you know, kind of like this Knight of Cups. I feel like your soul was very much connecting you to what it was that that inspired you, what it was that was really calling you to follow even, right? Especially with this Emperor, because I just so strongly feel like this was just the energy in which you were like, yeah, I'm just going to take control. Like I'm going to take this opportunity that has come my way, and I'm going to roll with it. And I think that was just very much because your intuition was like, yeah, man, this one's for you. Listen to that intuition. Get on board there. What was challenging you, though, here was this temptation, which is the devil energy. And that's just low vibration, okay? And we're all going to apply that to where it fits. For some, it can be addictions. For others, it can be, you know, and addictions, I mean, they don't just have to be substance or gambling or things like that. I mean, addictions can be addictions to people, to certain kind of energies, right? You can even be addicted to needing energy from other people. And that, again, with self-accountability, comes from acknowledging that your energy supply is low. But that, no matter which way you spin the devil here, that kind of energy is it's just a low vibration. It's very attached to, it's just very attaching. Okay, let's clarify. What is this low vibration? Thank you. Four of Wands and Two of Pentacles. You know, and I feel like there was, so for some of you, it could be where you were attached to relationships that weren't really serving you. Maybe they were relationships that were imbalanced. Maybe it was some sort of toxic relationship. And what you were really focused on here was like, you wanted the happiness. You wanted this balance within your life. And it was as though, that past influence, that past low vibration just wasn't necessarily bringing it to fruition. And it was very challenging, I feel, for you to just acknowledge that, okay, then that's just not for me, right? I feel like there was that struggle, and, you know, you could see it, like you could imagine that it was going to be this wonderful, beautiful, happy Four of Wands kind of thing. But in reality, that just wasn't what it was. You know, and I feel like it was very challenging for you, Scorpio, to look past, you know, to kind of like just be accountable, I think, for what it was, for where maybe you were attached. All right, so you promise yourself, though, with this patience, which is beautiful, because the patience is the energy of the temperance. And the temperance is about being present. It's about being very grounded. It's about being very balanced within your action side and your inner guidance. And we had the Lovers and the Four of Cups. Well, isn't that beautiful? You know, this Lovers, I mean, it certainly has, again, that very romantic kind of aspect to it. This, again, can be talking about relationships, but we do need to look at the Lovers energy as a wholesome kind of energy within inside of ourselves. Because if we are not if our divine masculine and our divine feminine energy within inside of self does not look like this, we will struggle, right? And I do feel that there has been some opportunities in the past that have been spilt, cups that got spilt, and whether that was because there was just the imbalance within inside of self, or because there was an imbalance within relationships or situations. And again, that doesn't just have to be romantic. I do feel like there was just this energy of you being hung up at one point, staring at opportunities that weren't for you. And I feel like what's shifting here is you promise yourself to find this balance within inside of self. It's also, you are promising yourself to look for this other cup. Okay? I feel like you are promising yourself that your masculine and feminine energy is going to blend as one. You know, that intuition is going to be what guides that action side. That action side is going to reflect and listen to that intuition, so that you as a whole is on the same page. So that you can acknowledge that, wait a minute, if these opportunities were spilt, it's because they weren't for me. You know, that balance within inside of self is so important. And especially if this is referring to relationships, I do want to point that out too. This is really where your, you know, it's, the patience energy is just allowing things to unfold within their time, you know. And if it's the Lovers and the Four of Cups here as this energy, and this is really just going to apply to select few within relationships, or who are applying this back to relationships. It can be where you have this new love that is growing and that is really blossoming into something very beautiful, very soul, you know, soulmate, whatever that looks like. But it is where you have to release release the things that didn't work in the past, right? Don't get hung up looking at all of these cups that were in the past. You know, allow yourself to be open to this opportunity. Allow yourself to be open to this cup. You know, and sometimes sometimes fear gets in our way, and all of a sudden we get really worked up and we get very fearful. But that energy of patience and temperance is learning just to be in the present. So not worrying about what is to come and not looking at the past, just being in the present, right? All right, so the potential outcome here, we have the Messenger of Earth. Now keep in mind, free will does change outcomes. You know, that is what free will is. Nothing is written in stone. Wow, we have the Emperor. So the Messenger of Earth is that's the Knight of Pentacles, and that is a very slow moving knight, but it's a very determined, very committed kind of knight. Wow, look at that. Okay, we have the Emperor, the King of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. For some of you, this can definitely be talking about a masculine within your life, for sure. But the energy I'm really feeling about this when we're talking about your potential outcome, Scorpio, is very much where you are putting the action steps in. Showing up, putting in, here's that Knight of Pentacles again. Look at that, same repeating cards. Isn't it interesting that we're actually getting like, I was going to say, we got clarifiers on that. Never mind. This is the first one that I did that. So you can see here though, with this one, like you can see this knight and he's walking, he's planting the pentacles as he goes. It's not a fast walk. Okay. But it's very determined. He's committed to the growth. He's committed to planting his pentacles within this life. You see, and here is this Emperor and King of Pentacles energy, because the Emperor is very sure. Okay. The Emperor is very sure in who he is. And the King of Pentacles is very sure in the action steps that it takes to become who he wants to be. Okay? The King of Pentacles is somebody who is going to, like this Knight of Pentacles, show up and put in the tangible changes and the tangible steps to align himself to the life in which he is wanting to live. You know, and it's not a fast-moving race, guys. Sometimes things take commitment and dedication. That is how... you know, if everything was easily obtained, the rewards wouldn't be as great, you know, and especially, I mean, there's a lot of pentacles within that result. So if this is talking about work, there is great abundance coming for you. There really is, but it's about being committed and determined and acknowledging, okay, even if I have a shitty day, I'm going to show up the next day and I'm still going to put one foot in front of the other. You know, I'm not backward stepping here. I'm committing myself to forward movement. And that doesn't have to just be work related. That applies to self-growth. That applies to growth within relationships. right? Being committed to constantly putting one foot in front of the other, learning from past mistakes, but bettering yourself, taking that knowledge that you knew and now putting it into the actions to go forward. Okay. All right, so let's pull a spirit animal oracle here to finish off this reading. What energy, what spirit animal energy would you like the Scorpios to embrace going forward here? Isn't that beautiful? All right, we have the dog spirit, which is be loyal to what you love. And we also have the starfish spirit, open to infinite possibilities. I really like that too. Dog spirit appears to remind you that although change is a part of life, and all of us are meant to evolve, our love and commitments remain strong. You are loved now and can trust that this higher love is true. Spirit loves you, and love has arrived in many forms now, manifesting it in people you surround yourself with, expressed uniquely through them. Dog spirit also says to be true to that which you love, for now is a time of great fortune. Be steady as you recognize that people and things are always transforming. Your heart is loving and true, and dog spirit wants you to know that your steadfast commitment to experiencing and expressing love will attract and manifest more love. You deserve all of it. Have faith in spirit's plan for you. Well, 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 that was a beautiful message. Okay, and I was only going to read one, but the starfish is like, wait a minute, you're not leaving me out. Stretch out on the beach. The starfish opens fully to the rays of the sun, to the power of potential. As you look out towards the horizon, do you open up to infinite possibility? Spirit is the source of opportunities beyond your wildest imagination and ensures endless possibilities are available. At this time, Starfish urges you to stretch past the limits of your everyday perception and comfort zone, to dream of bigger things and to imagine with even greater hope and faith. For miraculous potential is shining down on you. Feel it, bask in it, and open yourself to be filled with inspiration. This is a very fortunate sign that Starfish has come to remind you of your infinite potential. Beautiful. All right, Scorpios, if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. It helps get it out there, as my channel is just growing, so I do appreciate all of your beautiful love and support. If you are interested, be sure to drop a yellow heart in the comment section or a sunflower emoji. At the end of every month, I will be holding a draw for a free personal read. So I will take all of the comments that have either yellow hearts or sunflowers in them, and I will those will all be ballots to win a free personal reading. All right, Scorpio, until next time, take great care of your beautiful soul. Bye now.